Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the SoloMid.net 1 vs 1 Open Tournament. Today we are still in the quarterfinals of the tournament, and these are the top 8 players that have made it this far. I think we had something crazy like 512 kids playing these games, and that is a lot of people. So props to SoloMid for organizing it all. Caddy, I do believe, is the tournament manager, so always a good idea to send off a thank you note to him for hosting and organizing such great tournaments. I'm the FourCourtJester. With me today is going to be Reginald on your camera, and Caddy himself is in the game. I'm going to be sending him some questions during the cast, see what kind of inside information we can glean. But Caddy, would you like to say hi to everyone?
Yep, everyone, thank you for participating in the tournaments, and as FourCourtJester said, there was actually 512 matches with 1,024 though the first and second round did not go too well with a lot of people dropping out. And right now I'm getting whispers from my insert information. We'll be knowing room pages very...
Sounds like a plan. So, we're going to come back to that in a little bit. Today, you are going to be watching Tristana on CesarJuc, or CesarJuc, Luke? I don't know. I'm going to call him Caesar. But he is going up against Nidalee here in Az21. We did see a match with Nidalee a little bit earlier. For their summoner spells today, we do have Teleport and Flash on Tristana. Nidalee is also going to be going Teleport and Flash. Maybe we're going to be seeing some good placements and some good usages of that Flash, as we didn't really see too many of those there in the first matchup that did go down. So, for items, we are going to be here over on Tristana's side with a Rejuvenation Bead, a little curious, but as well as a Health and a Mana Potion. What do we got there for Nidalee there, Caddy?
We just got the typical Nidalee Dorian rings.
So just straight out Dorans. Alright, so swapping it up, we did see, of course, the Cloth Armor and Health Potions last round. And let's just take a quick look here at Miss Tristana. So, nothing in the move speed, or the armor, or the magic resistance. We do have a little bit of attack speed, although it's fairly abysmal at this point, 0.031 extra attack speed. So let's just ignore that. Nothing in the ability power, and only 3 in the attack. So I'm gonna have to say something in the physical mastery, but most likely something to do with health or armor pen, or even a little bit of mana regen here for Tristana, as nothing else is really that noticeable. Did we get any of that inside information? Would you like to describe a little bit about Nidalee there, Caddy?
Nidalee is not much you can see, but she is running 15 armor pen and looks like double mana regen, so she has 19 mana regen, and the flat health quints giving her 78 extra health. And Tristana is actually, yes, running a lot of armor pen with 25 plus armor pen, and the double mana regen giving her 11 mana regen over 5, and we got some action already.
Yeah,
Popping off. Nidalee taking a huge...
Nope, quite right. You're quite right. Yeah, the armor penetration definitely doing some big amounts of damage already, as you're seeing. They're just going to trade off blows. I'd be very disappointed if we saw a kill this early. But we are going to be keeping an eye on these guys. As some of you may or may not know, how do you win these 1 vs 1s? It's going to be that first kill or that first tower. So these games typically less than 15 minutes in length, and it's going to really come down to positioning, avoiding their enemy while hitting down, or maybe just going for the strat of turtling while whittling down their tower. So right now, Az21 and Caesar, they're just going to be going back and forth. It does look like Tristana's pushing up a little bit. She is doing a few extra auto attacks. And sorry for the cutting you off there, Caddy. I know a lot of people say a lot of big energy out of these. It's always like, well, Red Bull doesn't actually do anything here, so we're not going to be running that. Ooh, Mr. Loco Doco telling me Az21 is running 0.29 or 0.21 and 9. For the masteries. So defense, not offense, which would probably explain the extra attack speed, because that was just abysmal, and that's really low, but that's like really deep into the defensive tree. So thank you for that, Loco Doco. Oh man, okay. God, took a breath, it's all good. Caesar and AZ. Caesar, of course, is really just very pushed up against this tower. We did get a few attacks off there, but, 70 hit points, nothing really to worry about at this point. Now, we're not going to have any kind of jungling antics that we did see in the last game with that smite going for those rates, early advantage. It's really going to come down to all the last hits. No, Caesar wants to jump right in there with her rockets. No ignite, because we don't have ignite, because I'm a little curious at that. But, alright, we're not going to be committing to that after all. We're just going to jump over over there, say hi, and back out. But damage going down on both sides. Az21 fairly low. She does not have any health potions. Has to really rely on that heal. She did get off a spear into Caesar's, well, the back of Caesar's head. It didn't really do that much, but I do think that Tristana is looking very strong right now. Her extra range that she's getting from her passive is starting to really show that she can get off those quick snipes onto Az21, and she basically has to keep all that mana for that heal every time that cooldown comes up. We have not actually used any of the potions on Caesar. She is still with that 1 health, 1 mana, but these rejuve beads seem to be doing her a good amount of regen. So AZ actually going a little offensive. Not too sure why she was just walking up there. She is a ranged hero. I'm pretty sure he knows that. But he's going to be taking a lot of auto attacks there as a result. So I mean, we're totally out of mana right now. We did have, I think, 15 ability power. That's just simply from the Doran's Ring. And right now, ooh, another tip here from Loco Doco. Caesar is running 2109. Armor Pen, well, you already mentioned all that. XP Quints, though, that's a big one. XP Quints. Not something I've ever used myself, but definitely confirming the masteries are all going to be there in offense. So offense masteries versus defense masteries, that's kind of curious. Oh, there goes the rocket jump. Caesar Luke got to get off all these extra auto attacks. Still no uses of flash coming out. So very curious there. But, I mean, that tower is very close range, and Caesar probably doesn't want to be giving up any of that. We're not going to be jumping onto the teleport. Thank God. That could have been a very, very bad idea. But Caesar's going to land a whole bunch of free hits here, as he's going to be cleaning up these creep waves as well. Teleport coming back. What do we have here on Nidalee? It's going to be another Doran's Ring, 4 health potions, 2 mana potions, going for a very big longevity build. And the double Dorans, that's going to be a lot of mana regen, not exactly the health. And I don't know, we're probably going to be seeing some kind of burst come out here from Az21. That's the only thing I can think of. But what do you think there, Caddy? So far, both guys have level 6. What are we going to see?
Well, you know, typically with this kind of setup, you know, Nid's biggest weakness is anything they can, you know, get through her heals. You know, they can outdo her heals. And as you see, every time Tristana's jumping in and doing her combo, you know, she's putting on that reduced healing. And Nidalee's actually healing with that debuff on. And that might be Nidalee's demise, is, you know, healing in, you know, in immediate danger with that debuff.
That's an excellent point, bringing that up with the E skill of Tristana, whose name escapes me. But yeah, it does apply that healing debuff. So maybe he kind of figured that Nidalee was going. Maybe it's a luck of the draw. But yeah, that's a lot of extra healing now lost. So a few auto attacks coming out of AZ, getting very confident. Now he has the double Doran Ring. I mean, that is a good amount of mana. He has also the health potions as well as the mana potions. So, I mean, he's really going for that longevity. Going to be throwing out some traps as well. I haven't seen a trap in a 1v1 in a while, as we have also already seen a Nidalee and a Caitlyn in this series, and neither of them decided to use those. A minion's going to eat that one, so probably not the best of mana uses there. But she's just, right now it does look like AZ, he really wants to clean up these creep waves and start whittling down that tower, but that could really not work in his advantage. If Caesar jumps behind him and uses that ultimate of hers to Buster, I think it's Buster Shot, and comes right back into the tower, that could be some big damage going down. So yeah, gonna have to play it very careful. Haven't seen any spears come out of Az21 either, so he's definitely conserving that mana, using it more for the transformations as well as the healing rather than anything else. Let's take a quick look here at the creep kills, 43 to 36. So a little bit of an advantage there for Caesar. Caesar has yet to go back to town as well. That's a big advantage he's going to hold over Nidalee if he can ever keep these creeps from his towers. So as we did say, Az21 went to town, has the item advantage, and really just wants to keep up this pressure because Caesar does not want to leave off any kind of advantage that he can do. So if he can push out this creep wave, he might go to town. Does not look like he's very interested in that at all. And what kind of big items could we see from Tristana here, Caddy? Like, if she's going to go to town, she's going to have a lot of money. What do you think we'll see?
It really depends on the player. You know, might see a lot of life steal so that she can have some sustainability, or she's just going to do the same thing as Nid and, you know, just stack some life with getting some more Dorians, you know, keeping her damage very steady and probably trying to outpush Nidalee, since both of these champions are really great. So I can see a really strong pushing going on, or either they're going to start bouting off really early.
Well, we're just about to hit the 9-minute mark, which seems to be a good timestamp because we always seem to come back to it. Both players level 8, and it's full offensive tree versus full mastery tree, and everyone's running penetration. Seems to be the theme of the day. And I don't know, Az21 not really relenting in her auto attacks here. Going to land off some shots there onto the tower. Caesar, as soon as he jumps over there, Az was totally ready for that. Just jumps right back there with the transformation skill set. And Caesar's actually going to go to town. No, we're going to juke a spear first. So Caesar's like, okay, fine, we're not going to go to town. We're going to stay here. And we're going to do some more shooting. So that would have been the perfect opportunity for Caesar to go to town, because now we got some of these creeps knocking on a door. It's going to be a whole bunch of more free shots going down from Az21. Oh, AFK message of death. Silly thing. Go away. And I don't know. Right now, it was looking really good for Tristana. Right now, we are keeping up big pressure. Oh, that spear's not going to go anywhere with the creep in front of there, Az21. And this is going to be what Tristana really wants. So she's going to come to town. Let's just take a quick look at what she's going to pick up. A Wriggles Lantern, theme of the day. So we are going to see that Wriggles come out with boots, the boots of speed, which is probably going to be very, very useful for Caesar if he wants to try to hunt down this Tigress here. Right now, he is going to be throwing out that debuff, so we are not going to be seeing any healing from Az until that is done. And I don't know, we're going to have to pop these traps now while we can, and just depend upon this Wriggles Lantern to get that health back. So now with a Wriggles and a Boots, we might start seeing a bit more aggressive play from Caesar, because now he has that movement advantage, although you can never really discount this jump from Nidalee. Every time she throws that out, it's quite the good juking skills. I've seen some of the top players use it to perfection, which is quite astounding, because, well, quite frankly, I can't do that. But I don't know. Right now, we do see that Wriggles come out, so that's kind of what you were saying there, Caddy. I mean, going with that lifesteal.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, since the change, a lot of summoners have changed how they're playing these 1v1s, as we saw before that SoloMid did. The summoners chose like Rally and Ignite for 1v1 pit-offs, but now it just seems like it's just a push and who can do it better. And, Tristana is looking to be a little bit more aggressive with her boots. She can outrange Nidalee, so she's keeping her distance, just pecking away. And
it is probably going to come down to not a first blood, but a first tower at this rate. Both summoners going back and forth at a pretty steady rate. As we did say, I mean, those boots is the whole difference here in the mindset of Caesar. Going to be even getting off some more pot shots. The heal has to come out, but I'm not too sure that Caesar had the debuff on in time. Az is going to try to clean these guys up. For last hits, it's 76-64. Still in a big lead here for Caesar, so he has the extra money at this point, but you can't really go back to town until that teleport debuff comes back up. Speaking of that, we should have that teleport come up fairly soon here for Az21, because he did use it a lot quicker than we did here for the Tristana. That might actually lead to an even greater item advantage, which might mean we might see something akin to the end of the game coming out. Now, both summoners do have flash. We haven't seen a flash yet. But we have seen that teleport. Az going to get off some hot shots. Going to go pretty offensive here. Nope, going to jump back. Going to heal up. There we go. There's the heal through the debuff again. So only grabbing a partial amount of that. So yeah, I think the both summoners are just too careful to really depend on a 1v1 kill. I mean, look, we just had Caesar right now use that ultimate, pushed her back. Not too sure why I decided to use it, but maybe just got tired of waiting. But it's also a good burst of damage. We have to use these heals. We do not have the potions going down, but Grievous Wound going down yet again on Az. He just has to really stay in the back behind everything. And that Wriggles is definitely doing Caesar a good amount of lifesteal. He can just tank those creeps without really fear of any loss at this point. And of course, the third skill, their E, is just blowing up creeps. No problem. So now we're going to see some more damage, counter damage, at least on the towers. And I don't know, Caesar could jump in here, but he won't have any mana to really combo anything out, and we don't have Ignite. We only do have the Flash, so we could jump in, flash out. I still don't see that happening. Don't take too many tower shots there, Caesar. That's probably not the best of ideas. And I don't know, it's just going to be a back and forth war. We're now passing the 13.5-minute mark, one of our longer games that we've seen in a while. But I think the longest game I ever saw was 28 minutes, 1 versus 1. You kind of really run out of things to talk about. But that's why I have you, Caddy. I mean, you can. What do you think so far right now? We've just seen a lot of back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, as the other summoners that have played already, they say, the really big advantage is, a ranged melee or ranged physical DPS. You get that Wriggles. you know, you can just stay in lane all day and just auto attack farm and slowly just chip away at that tower. So maybe by the end of these, you know, getting into the final rounds, we'll start seeing some counters to these Wriggle strategies. And to maybe help the other summoners out there that are having trouble in their own 1v1s, you know, top lanes.
Okay, no, I don't know what Az21 was doing, but what, like, was he in town? Where was he?
Yep, he went back and used it, or I'm sorry, used his teleport, but his teleport didn't come up.
I don't think he really predicted that kind of damage coming out. So, great. 14.5-minute game. Nidalee losing it simply because she wasn't around in the lane. And that's going to force a game number 2. So, it was a tower kill, which is only took 14.5 minutes to get to it. But we are going to go to game number 2. And we'll see you guys there.